Well, Europe remembers on tour day for the daily report, and it's going to be a very busy day this Friday. So, Joel, tell us what are we going to do?
In the morning we will visit the D-Day map room, the map room where it all begins for D-Day, and the walkers will walk from Roland Castle all the way up to Portsmouth, where we will end at the D-Day Story Museum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're on a very nice place, very specific place. Lawrence, the Golden Lion. Tell us the story about the Golden Lion.
It's quite incredible, really. So we're at Southwark, the village of Southwark, which is pretty much right next door to Southwark House, as you'd probably expect with the name. The Golden Lion was very popular when these guys moved in. It became the unofficial officers' mess. It basically had a constant supply of alcohol. Unlike, there's actually two pubs here, the Red Lion and the Golden Lion. Red Lion, unfortunately, was rationed, but because these guys, the Golden Lion, had their own brew house.
Their own brew house?
They had their own brew house right behind, yeah. So it was, as you can imagine, very popular with the officers. It became the unofficial officers' mess.
So the whole village was a part of the whole operation?
Yeah, it was a hive of activity. Obviously great for trades, like the shop down the road, the NAFI that sprung up as well, and obviously the pubs.
Over there?
Yeah, over there.
Oh, okay, well, let's go. So Lawrence, this is a post office now, but what was it 75 years ago?
So it used to be village stores. As you can imagine, it would have been a sort of hive of activity with all those troops around here, and obviously the villagers as well, trying to make the most of what rations they could get their hands on. So very popular for trade, I guess, with all these extra people in, with extra cash to burn.
Just like you always do, till the blues.
Lawrence, what's the story of this church?
So obviously this church and obviously the village is part of the Southwark estate. They're kind of quite important. The Thistlethwaite family basically run the estate and own the estate. So as you can see, quite a few of the doors around here are maroon red coloured. That means they're part of the Southwark estate. I pointed out to you the mast, the flag flying at half mast behind us. Unfortunately, the head of the household, the Thistlethwaite, passed away very recently. That is why it's flying at half mast, to commemorate him.
Do you know some more interesting places over here?
Yeah, so obviously just down the road, we've obviously touched on the Golden Lion. There's actually two pubs that were in the village, the Red Lion and the Golden Lion. The Red Lion has a very interesting story. Unfortunately, it didn't have an alcohol licence in the same way that the Golden Lion had the brew house behind it. So obviously limited on what it could give out, so it was rationed. But that being said, the proprietors, when these guys started going off for D-Day, they gave them everything they could. They're handing out beers, handing out cigarettes, and in return the soldiers were throwing back the money they couldn't take with them and sweets for the kids. So it's a great story. So yeah, there was one more thing I forgot to mention about the church. Obviously 1941, Southwark House was requisitioned by the Navy, KMHS Dryad. Colonel Evelyn Thistlethwaite basically was evicted obviously from the house. That was their ancestral home. He came and lived in one of the cottages in the villages. 1942-43, he moved to Broomfield House where we were yesterday. Unfortunately in 43 he passed away, and he's commemorated obviously in the church right behind us.
And this building, it looks like a school?
Yeah, so obviously, as it says here, the old schoolhouse. It was a school during that time period, during the Second World War. The kids used to have lessons here, but when the army moved in, they did still have lessons here, obviously, but when the soldiers moved in, the officers moved in, they used to have briefings in there. And when that happened, obviously the kids got turfed out and had to have lessons. There's air raid shelters that were built a couple rows down, and they had lessons in there when this was temporarily occupied for briefings.
And what is it now?
It's now, I think, a private residence. I don't know, it looks like offices, I think.
Lawrence, this is really an amazing place. Where are we exactly?
So we're in Southwark House, just outside of Southwark, the village, where we were yesterday, briefly. This house was basically requisitioned in 1941. The navigation school down in Portsmouth was being heavily bombed. They came up here and they took it over and became HMS Dryad. Ramsey, back basically in 1944, was looking for a HQ, decided that Fort Southwark wasn't for him, saw this and obviously instantly thought this is the place for me, and set up here. And as you can see behind us with that incredible view.
We're singing this song 'cause I know we'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue
honor to be here with
this
you
song,
all.
'cause I know
Thank you, I know, I'm especially
We wanted to, if you allow us,
Yes.
to name you Ambassador of the Liberation
Oh,
Vote.
thank you so much.
So we made
Oh,
this
fantastic. Oh,
name
what
for
can
you.
I say?
You know, thank you so much.
So much.
Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic how people have come over to see us in Portsmouth, network with us and go on to other places. I mean, it's brilliant, a brilliant idea and fantastic to see everybody.
Little present for you.
It's very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice indeed. Thank you.
Well, guys, this is a roundup of day 4 in England. We traveled from London all the way to Portsmouth. Now we're in Southwick at the Golden Lion. We're all preparing for the live stream. Lawrence Waller, I want to thank you for the last couple of days. You were great. You gave a lot of information. How was it for you?
It's been incredible, a real experience, and great to be part of this. Thank you to you guys for allowing me to, and obviously big thank yous for someone I probably should mention who isn't here, Ben Main, a colleague of mine. He's done quite a lot of the logistics behind the scenes, so we wouldn't be here today probably without him, or well, maybe not.
Okay, Ben, thank you very much. The roundup in England, what is going to happen later?
No, we have a panel discussion, and after the panel discussion, we'll drive back, and then we hopefully in 2 weeks we will be in Normandy.
So we see each other back in Normandy, all the live stream, all the Facebook, all the social media, you can see everything.
I think the weekend also in Normandy will be amazing.
Okay, we ended up now and let's sing a song. I know a song. We'll meet again, don't know when, don't know when.